Ski TV here at our studio at Listex and Listex International Snow Sports Exchange, and I have as my guest today Daniel Elkan, and he's from Snow Carbon, which is a fantastic resource if you're travelling to the Alps by rail. Daniel, tell us a bit about the project and how did it all get started?
I guess it started about 20 years ago, and in fact when I first went skiing with friends, didn't know anything about how to go skiing, and they said be at Gatwick 5 in the morning, and I was there, and then I imagined it'd be a quick hop to the slopes, and it took ages, and I thought, well, maybe that's a one-off, but every time we went by plane it would take so long, and then I realised that actually you can get to the Alps quite quickly and very enjoyably by train.
Yes, and the train trips are just so fantastically beautiful when you're going there, and I've done a massive train trip to St Anton back in the early 2000s, and I was just blown away by the scenery. And it's not like getting on a normal train where it's a bit boring. I mean, you look out the window, it just blows your mind. And your service, people can go to your site and they can see everything in one place, right?
That's the aim, yeah. Try and make it as comprehensive as possible, but also like insightful, because it's really written, you know, by skiers for skiers, if you like. That journey to St Anton is absolutely fantastic.
Oh,
yeah,
stunningly beautiful.
I mean, ringside seat on these lakes that you go past, and yeah, you know, it's a longer journey than flying, but it's not that much longer, and it's so much more enjoyable, more sustainable, more comfortable, more social. But what I found, and the reason I set Snow Carbon up is, you know, I was writing about the subject as a ski journalist, but I would still find that it's such a wild goose chase sometimes to try and find out the information you need in order to make a decision about, can I get to this resort by train, or just like, where can I go by train, which resorts can you get to. So with Snow Carbon we try and, you know, get really useful information, put it in one place in a way that's really useful for skiers to use.
There are so many fantastic resorts in the Alps that you can reach by train. And people are discovering that you don't need to fly or drive to reach the slopes. When you travel by train, it's a totally different experience. I think there's a lot of pressure on anyone who's organising a ski holiday to get things absolutely right for their family or the group of friends. Everyone wants to enjoy the mountains in a different way. Every group is unique. What Snow Carbon is doing is helping people with the key choices, providing personal, tailored advice on which resort, where to stay, and how to get there by train. It's no secret that people love train travel. You step on board, it's started. The journey becomes part of the holiday.
Saves a hell of a lot of time, because I mean you'd have to do all that work yourself individually over and over and over again, and they can just go to your site and it's all there for you. And let's face it, these days, I mean I came here to London on Eurostar from Amsterdam, and it's amazing because these days a lot of if you're going from the UK for instance, a lot of the border control for these countries is done on one side, yet whereas you don't have to go through all the security on both sides as you do when you're flying. And that's a fantastic thing, because you know, if you come on Eurostar to London for instance, all the border checks are in Amsterdam, and then you get off in London and there's no border check because you've already done it.
Yeah, you just walk into St Pancras, that's done.
That's it. And would it be the same sort of way? You save a lot in the Alps as well, because you go through a lot of those checks on one side. Is that how it works? Or?
If you're going on a direct ski train, then yeah, the checks is just done in the Alps. If you go in directly, you know, you may be going back via Paris, then it's done in Paris. You know, your point about the fact that the research can take so long, you know, like the longer something takes me to research, in a way it's satisfying to know that, you know, if something took me 4 hours to find out, it's like, okay, maybe I'm saving each person 4 hours by putting that on the site. So yeah, it's a nice way to think about it.
Yeah, it's nice. And what I really love about being on the train is you can relax, you can walk around, you can go to the bar, you can stretch your legs, and you can do a lot of work. I mean, coming over here, I cleaned up my entire desktop, which was like full of stuff just not organised, and you can do things like that. It's your mobile office too on the train.
I think that's the thing. It's like, you know, you're going to have these big chunks of time, whereas, you know, if you try to work through a journey by plane, it's stop, start, stop, start. It's like, okay, now we're moving to the carousel, now we're moving here, now we're moving. You never really get into it. Whereas, you know, sit down on a TGV, get a coffee from the cafe bar, clear up your desktop.
Yeah.
You know, and the scenery glides by. It's,
superb.
Yeah, it's great. And it's good thinking time, and it's really great social time. You know, I normally organise 1 or 2 ski holidays just for friends. You know, about 20 of us will go, and I'll find a chalet that we can get to by train. And not everyone knows each other, because I'm inviting friends, and they might invite a couple of friends and stuff. And starting at St Pancras, you know, the excitement, and that, you know, we pop open the bubbles, and, you know, it's coffee, and then, you know, you make a little picnic on the train, and by the time you've got to the chalet, everyone's become friends.
Oh yes, and in such a good, relaxed mood, you know, because the flying, as we know, is so stressful these days, and waiting in those queues. I remember once I was stuck in a Geneva queue on a Sunday, and seriously, the snaking queues that go forever and ever, you just don't get that on the train. It's just not an experience that you want to go. You never want to go through that experience. Trust me, it's not good. Try to avoid flying on a Sunday when it's changeover day. It's like crazy. But on the train, you don't have that kind of problem.
You don't.
It's great. You can pick any time you like. But how can people find more online about your service?
Well, the website's snowcarbon.co.uk. And on the site you can find, you know, there's a whole, there's a lot of destinations in terms of that are great resorts you can get to in different countries. There's a journey planner on the site for each resort, so you can look up further in advance than you can on rail company websites, because I kind of do a predicted timetable. And yeah, there's a lot of information, and it's snowcarbon.co.uk.
Oh, fantastic. It's a great service, Daniel. Thank you for doing
Thanks
that.
a lot.
I'm a big rail fan. I think the way it is with COVID nowadays, I think and to help save the planet, rail journeys are the way to go in the future.